Good morning. You know, there's a verse in the Bible, Proverbs 19:24, that says, there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And I didn't have any brothers in real life. I did have a wonderful sister who I still talk to every couple of days. She lives in Paducah, Kentucky. And we had a great mom and dad. But my brothers have consisted of those I have met in the Lord down through the last 50-some years of my life walking with the Lord. And you know, about 10 years ago, I was going through a horrible experience in my life. And I was on the brink of disaster with a lot of personal things that were going on in my life. And during that time, there were 5 brothers who walked with me through this horrible time in my life. They and their wives sustained me during this time as I shared the hurt of my heart. One of them was my pastor, Tom Andrews, and his wife, Ann. And I staggered into his church about 10 years ago and totally broken down and distraught and very discouraged. And he's told his personal story of his life, how he'd gone through some tough times in his life. And I immediately identified with him. And over the last 10 years, he has been a great encouragement to me as I've participated in the church and helping to build the church down there at Harbor Point Community Church. And he and his wife are just a joy to me. And he's a very real man. He goes, you know, I know that Tom is not perfect. And I know he has faults. And I know things go wrong in his life. And we talk about it quite a bit. And there's hardly a week go by that I don't call up to encourage him. And, you know, Deuteronomy 3:28 says, charge Joshua, encourage him, and strengthen him. And when I was on that radiation table and the machine was whirring round and round, I prayed for Tom and Ann many times, as well as these other folks that I'm going to share with you. Another man who has walked with me during the tough times of my life for over 50 years is Ike Newingham. And Ike and Deanna have been my closest friends for years and years and years. And I'm so thankful that I have close friends that I can share my heart with. And I can sit there and say, boy, I felt like kicking the dog or beating my wife or killing myself. I could tell them anything. And they didn't condemn me. They just sit there and encourage me. And Ike has done that for many, many years. I still talk to him at least every week or once or twice a week. And then another guy is Jeff Lundy. Jeff lives up in Washington, D.C. with his wife, Debbie. And Jeff and I helped build a church over in Newport News several years ago. And we were involved with a small group of Pastor David Smith. And we met on a weekly basis. And then he moved to Washington, D.C. And now every morning when he goes to work, several mornings a week, we talk on the phone and encourage one another. And during this tough time of my life, Jeff was there to help me and encourage me and pray for me and keep me going. And it's so hard to tell you about the next guy, and that's Lou Robinson, because Lou went to be with the Lord about 2 months ago. And Lou and Debbie lived about 2 blocks away from me, and I would go over to their house and just, you know, share my heart with them. And Lou was the kind of guy that I could tell anything to. And I know that he is in heaven with Jesus right now, and I look forward to spending time with him. And I pray for Debbie, his wife, as she has adjusted to getting along without him. He has a wonderful family, and I got to know all the kids and the grandkids as they were growing up, and we still communicate on a regular basis. But Lou and Debbie were great encouragers during this time. And the last one is Frank Dunn. Frank and Sherry live in San Antonio, Texas. Frank moved into our home back in the 70s. Or the 80s, I don't know, somewhere a long, long time ago. I guess it was back in the 80s, I guess it was. And I had come back from Vietnam, and was transferred to Wiesbaden, Germany. I'm getting my dates all mixed up because my brain is old and fried. And I went to Wiesbaden in 1968, and that's where I met Frank. Frank moved into our home, a little town called Bausheim, Germany. And then years later, we hooked up again, and he came to Yorktown and lived with me, and he was my foreman in the drywall business, and he sat there with me during many times as we prayed together. I remember we had a 6-week prayer meeting where we met every morning and prayed, and now Frank and I talk once or twice a week. We're on emails, Facebook, and all that stuff. And Frank has a wonderful family that I've been able to keep up with, and his children are scattered around, and his grandchildren now. I see all their pictures all the time, and what a great encouragement this man was to me during this tough time. So I hope that you have a friend like that. If not, call me up. I'll be your friend, because I love to have relationships like this with people that I can share my life. And as the radiation machine whirled round and round, I called out these names of these folks before the Lord many times and asked God to bless them and encourage them and strengthen them. So today, I hope you're strengthened, and I hope that you have a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Thank you.
For sure.